Do you think Jimmy G gets enough credit for the success that his team had?
No, he doesn't. And that's for two reasons. One, the eyeball test tells you that Jimmy G is not an MVP caliber player. He's not Patrick Mahomes. That's true. He's not that. He's not elite like a top 5 quarterback. But he's a top 10 to 12 quarterback, certainly, I think. And then secondly, that was and because he's on a powerhouse team, it's like, well, he's kind of just game managing or riding the coattails. And then in the moment of truth, he didn't come through, because if he hits Emmanuel Sanders on his steps, they win the Super Bowl. On the other hand, he didn't give up 21 points in the fourth quarter. And Jimmy G, in fact, is a top 10 to 12 quarterback and has surprising numbers like his completion percentage on deep balls and stuff, much better than you'd think, considering his reputation. He was top 5 in yards per attempt, completion percentage, and touchdown passes, right? Last year. You know who else was in all 3 of those categories? No one. He was the only quarterback to finish top 5 in all those categories. He really is an excellent player, and in kind of Belichickian in the sense that quick reads, quick release. Not the biggest arm in the world. We've seen that. But if you look at what he's accomplished, even when you look at late and close, fourth quarters, when his team is down, there's a reason that Jimmy G is 21-5 lifetime. That he takes over a team he himself coming off a catastrophic injury and immediately finds himself with a 10-point lead in the Super Bowl that first season. He's not just getting lucky being on a good team. He's not winding up in the Super Bowl just because he happened to be the quarterback on a team with a defense. Jimmy G is if not the most important element in the San Francisco 49ers Super Bowl run to get there. He's certainly one of them. And if he's not a top 5 quarterback, he's top 10 or 12 and deserves much more credit for the Niners' success.
Laura, the wonderful Laura, I really don't like broaching this subject in front of you because I don't like you to see the mean side of me, to be quite honest with you. I don't mind when Max sees it, but I don't want you to see that. But let me tell you something that's just egregious and sickening, okay? And that's why Max got that little smirk on his face, because he laughed because he knows where I'm going to go with this. Let me tell you something. This is the last show that anybody ever needs to complain about as it pertains to Jimmy Garoppolo, because Max Kellerman and Molly Karen Rose are the 2 people most responsible for adopting this victim mentality that people seem to be having when it comes to Jimmy Garoppolo. Let's stop it. Everybody just needs to stop it, okay? Jimmy Garoppolo, I'll give him credit. I never said he was a scrub. No one said he wasn't a top 10 quarterback. The issue was whether or not he was elite and a franchise quarterback. Some people would challenge that. Dare I say why? Well, let's just count the ways. On the defensive side of the ball, clearly San Francisco was elite with Bosa, obviously leading their front line, getting to the quarterback, Richard Sherman spearheading their secondary. On the offensive side of the ball, let me count the ways. You're the franchise quarterback. After 7 successful starts, you get $137.5 million, $72 million guaranteed. That's before all of these other contracts came about, all right? It was thrown right to him. Oh, by the way, they were gift-wrapped it to him because Bill Belichick had no damn business giving up Jimmy Garoppolo for a second-round pick, for crying out loud. That was him being bitter because Robert Kraft made him get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo to preserve Tom Brady for another year or 2. Now here we go. Let's count the ways. You got Deebo Samuels. You had Emmanuel Sanders before he left for New Orleans after the Super Bowl. You got Kyle Shanahan as a play caller. Take away the fourth quarters of the Super Bowl, and the brothers are considered to be quite elite. Oh, by the way, not only that, you got George Kittle, a top 2 tight end in all of football. You got a 3-headed monster at the running back position in Coleman and Breida and Mostert, for crying out loud, okay? Jimmy Garoppolo, some people, I won't say he's a game manager. I'll give him a little bit more credit than that. But I have repeatedly stated, you get to 5, 6 different levels with the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, it used to be 4.
His name even comes up. And somehow, I said before, and I said this, listen, you get to all of that before you even get to his name. And somehow, some way, he's a victim? Are y'all kidding me? Get the hell out of here.
Stephen A.
Jimmy G can play.
So you
all
just said.
And Molly gave him a nickname. Molly gave him the nickname Jimmy G. You've been bringing him up and made him a star because you used him to highlight Tom Brady, okay? The only person that brought him down to earth was me calling him porn star Jimmy, a nickname he absolutely earned, which, by the way, is not an insult in my mind. But that's what I called him. But then I let that go because Mama Garoppolo is probably watching someplace, and I don't want to be like that. I don't want it to be misconstrued.
Well, he should have thought of that.
Even though I wasn't insulting that. But the bottom line is stop it. Let's just stop it, please. He's lucky to be there. He's lucky to be
Hold
there.
on. You just listed all the things on the Niners that you get to before Jimmy G. In other words, they're an excellent team, led by an excellent coach. Well, let's talk about that for a second.
Yes.
Bill Belichick had a lot of quarterbacks come through New England, but he saw Jimmy G and said, that guy is going to replace Tom Brady. Brady had to do an end around and go to Kraft in order to get Jimmy G shipped out of town. For that reason, he was going to be Brady's successor, went 2-0 with the Patriots. Then he gets shipped to the Niners. You know who wanted him and gave him a big fat contract? Shanahan, an offensive genius, right? What does he do? He goes 5-0. Well, Max, team is so good, that's why he goes 5-0. Look at all the weapons, the defense, the coach. Well, in that case, a replacement quarterback shouldn't go 4-12, but that's what happened. As soon as Jimmy G got hurt, the 5-0 Jimmy G, they couldn't buy a win before he got there. He gets there 5-0. You take him away 4-12, one of the worst teams in football. Now he gets healthy. From 4-12, you go to 13-3. You exactly reverse it and have a 10-point lead in the Super Bowl, and it takes Patrick Mahomes to come back on you, and that guy's just okay, huh?
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.